Welcome to Cognitive Crossroads, the channel where we explore the fascinating what-ifs of the human mind. Today we stand at a crossroads of the past and the present, pondering a power that seems straight out of science fiction, yet touches on the deepest parts of our psychology. Imagine if you could delete a single memory, not suppress it, not forget it over time, but truly erase it as if it never happened. What would that mean for you, for your identity, for humanity itself? The idea is seductive, isn't it? We all have memories we wish we could shed. Moments of embarrassment, profound grief, agonizing regret, or even traumatic events that haunt our waking hours. The promise of instant relief from such burdens is incredibly powerful. But what if the eraser didn't just remove the painful image, but also altered the very fabric of who you are? Let's break this down by first considering the interconnectedness of memory. Our memories aren't isolated files in a neat cabinet. They're part of an intricate, sprawling web. Each experience, each piece of knowledge, is linked to countless others. When you recall one event, it often triggers a cascade of associated thoughts, feelings, and other memories. It's like a vast, complex neural network. If you could delete a single memory, how surgically precise could you be? Think about a minor but painful memory, maybe the time you tripped in front of everyone at a big event. Erasing that specific moment seems simple, but would it also erase the lesson of humility it taught you? Would it erase your decision to be more careful, or the kind words a friend said afterward? The memory isn't just the trip, it's the whole experience. Removing it might leave a gaping hole, leaving you confused about why you now act a certain way, or why certain other memories feel incomplete. Now consider a major memory, like a painful breakup. You want to erase the sadness, the arguments, the heartache, but would erasing that also erase the lessons learned about relationships, the resilience you developed, or even the memory of the good times you shared? Your past is what makes you you. Psychologists talk about the self-narrative, the story we tell ourselves about who we are based on our accumulated experiences. Our memories are the chapters of that story. If you remove a chapter, does the story still make sense? Do you still understand your own character arc, your motivations, your fears, and your strengths? Deleting a significant memory wouldn't just remove an event, it could fundamentally alter your self-perception, leaving you with an altered, perhaps less coherent, sense of self. It's like having a phantom limb of memory, a feeling that something is missing, but you can't remember what it is. The act of processing a painful memory, of finding resilience, is a crucial part of psychological recovery. Simply removing the memory might prevent that growth. It might leave a void where a profound learning experience should have been, leaving the individual vulnerable to similar traumas without the acquired coping mechanisms. To truly understand what it would mean to delete a memory, we have to look at how memories are formed in the first place. Memories are not stored in a single place in your brain. They're patterns of connections between neurons. This process, called synaptic plasticity, involves strengthening or weakening the connections between nerve cells. When you form a memory, you're essentially creating a new, specific pathway in this vast network. The hippocampus is like the brain's central processing unit for memory. It takes new information and helps consolidate it into long-term storage. Meanwhile, the amygdala is responsible for the emotional connection to that memory. That's why traumatic events, which are highly emotional, are so deeply ingrained and easily triggered. To delete a memory, you'd have to physically and permanently dismantle a specific neural pathway. But here's the problem. That pathway isn't just for one memory. It shares connections with countless others. Erasing one pathway could cause a domino effect, leading to the collateral damage of deleting unrelated memories. The brain, in its infinite complexity, also has a mechanism for dealing with gaps in information. If you've ever had a fuzzy memory and tried to fill in the blanks, you've experienced confabulation. The brain instinctively attempts to create a coherent story, even if it has to invent the details. If you surgically deleted a core memory, your brain would likely create a new one to fill the void. The new memory would be a fabrication, a lie your brain tells you to make sense of your life. Could you trust your own mind if you knew parts of your life story were a fiction? The psychological fallout could be catastrophic, leading to constant doubt and an inability to distinguish truth from fabrication. Imagine a world where people selectively erased memories of conflict, injustice, or social unrest. On the surface, it might seem to lead to a more peaceful society. But would it not also erase the lessons of history? The memory of past atrocities, however painful, serves as a powerful deterrent and a reminder of the fragility of peace. If we could simply wipe away the collective memory of historical mistakes, what would stop us from repeating them? Societies, like individuals, learn and evolve through their shared experiences, both good and bad. This power could create a memory economy. Imagine a market for memory services. Pay to forget your student debt, your embarrassing public moment, or the face of an ex. This would inevitably create a deep societal divide. The wealthy could afford to erase their most painful memories and live in a state of selective bliss, while the poor would be left to carry the full burden of their past, with no access to the mental relief of memory deletion. Furthermore, what about accountability? If a perpetrator could erase the memory of their actions, or a victim the memory of the injustice, what would become of justice itself? The very foundation of our legal and ethical systems relies on the accurate remembrance of events. This capability could unravel the fabric of trust and responsibility in society. A person could commit a crime, erase their memory of it, and then genuinely claim they have no recollection, making a fair trial impossible. And what about abuse of this power? Governments could use memory deletion as a tool of control, a form of psychological oppression far more insidious than censorship. Citizens could have their memories of dissent, political figures, or historical truths altered or erased to ensure their compliance. We've seen this concept in fiction, and it's always portrayed as the ultimate loss of freedom. The ability to control a population's collective memory is the ultimate power. In a world where memories can be altered, can we ever truly rely on personal testimony or even our own subjective experience? Our perception of reality is profoundly shaped by what we remember. Tampering with that foundation could lead to a highly fragmented, subjective, and ultimately chaotic understanding of the world. The bonds of personal relationships would also be at risk. How could you forgive someone who had their memory of the offense deleted? The act of forgiveness requires remembrance and the conscious choice to move past it. Without that shared memory, true reconciliation would be impossible. So, while the allure of deleting a single painful memory is undeniable, the what if quickly reveals a cognitive crossroads fraught with profound implications. Our memories, in all their messy, beautiful, and sometimes agonizing complexity, are fundamental to who we are. They define our past, inform our present, and shape our future. They are the scaffolding of our identity, the lessons of our growth, and the collective history of our species. Perhaps true strength lies not in the ability to erase, but in the capacity to confront, process, and ultimately integrate all the chapters of our story, even the most challenging ones. Our experiences, both good and bad, are what make us human. To discard a piece of that would be to diminish the very essence of ourselves. What are your thoughts? If you could delete one memory, would you? And what do you think the consequences might be? Let us know in the comments below. Join us next time on Cognitive Crossroads as we delve into another fascinating what if of the mind. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration.